came to this country from Mexico in 1981. They became legal residents in 1986. And now my mother is a U.S. citizen while my father is waiting to become a U.S. citizen himself. They came to the U.S. to give myself and my siblings a better life. All they wanted was to work hard and provide something that they could not do in Mexico. They took on jobs as immigrants that consisted of long hours, low wages, and these jobs were hard on their bodies. They weren't easy jobs at all. Growing up, I grew up as an American. I grew up with that pride of being an American. But I also felt the brunt of anti-immigrant sentiment and discrimination. One of the biggest things that I saw was when I was 12 years old on a vacation coming from Mexico. We received 2 flat tires and we were stuck in the middle of the I-10 freeway in the middle of the desert. A police officer came behind us. 9 times out of 10, you assume the police officer would come and maybe call AAA, call a tow truck, have someone help us out. We were stranded. Instead, he forced my dad out of the car, searched him, and checked the back of the vehicle for drugs. I was 12, and I was the oldest. And I can remember seeing my dad just powerless, almost embarrassed to think that we're criminals just because we all spoke Spanish. Still, this did not deter my love for my country. And after the acts of September 11th, I felt that it was my duty to serve this country that I love and join the United States Marine Corps. I thought that the discrimination would end with my service. I too was wrong with that. My first return home on leave after boot camp, again I went to Mexico to where my family is. I was pulled over by Border Patrol. I didn't think it was a big deal. Showed my military ID, thought they'd send me on my way, say thank you for your service, because that's what's happened before. Instead, I was detained for another 30 minutes, asked about my immigration status, my brother's immigration status, and my cousin's immigration status. And then I was asked if I was carrying any drugs. This has happened to me a number of times, simply for driving with brown skin. Still though, this is my country, this is what I love, and they gave me so much. So I still had love, and I did not question my love for my country. Over the years as a Marine, I felt great pride in serving my country. And when I came back to Arizona, transitioning out of the Marine Corps and rejoining civilian life here, I noticed that the state that I called home was no longer friendly to the type of people that my parents were. They were no longer friendly to immigrants. I saw the hatred, the blame being pointed to immigrants simply because of the economy, saying that they were taking jobs, that they were bringing in drugs, that they were only here to cause damage. Where we both know it's not true. Meeting kids as a Marine recruiter, I met kids that were as American as you and I, have known this country since they were born, had not even known they were brought here legally. And the sad part is that they had no rights, and for many were looked at as they weren't even human, simply because they were born on the wrong side of the fence. This isn't the country that I chose to serve. This country, the country that I chose to serve, the United States of America, became a global superpower on the backs, on the sweat, on the tears, blood, and hopes of immigrants of all races, all generations. From Eastern Europeans to Chinese to Irish to African Americans, Latinos, we are all American and we all are here to make this country better, and that's all we've done for generations.